Sayyidina Julaybib Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu said, this man, this Sahabi, was ugly, allegedly, or at least what Sayyidina Anas said, and was poor, both. لكن سيدنا جليبيب used to have love of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم. كان يحب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ويكثر الجلوس عنده, and he used to sit with him a lot. He just comes and sits. He sits at the door of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, waiting for the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم just even to come, like the lovers. They wait for the moon. Those who love the moon, they wait for the moon. The moon comes, assalamu alaikum, they leave. They're happy they saw the moon. You ask these young people when they are in love. They just want to get a glimpse. And then khalas, their whole day is good. And if he doesn't get a glimpse, then the whole day is upset. There's nothing, right? Right. Allah. فعل سيدنا جليبيب رضي الله عنه used to sit with the Prophet, next to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, or would sit and wait for Sayyidina Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم. وكان يكثر الجلوس. Every time he would go there and wait and sit as close as he can, or as waiting until the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم comes, and just silently, claimlessly, do you hear his name? This, that, Ya Rasulullah, give me, Ya Rasulullah, I want to be, Ya Rasulullah, I give me a position, Ya Rasulullah, give me a post, Ya Rasulullah, give me money. Have you heard him saying any of these things? Nothing. I don't want anything. I don't want enough that I am with you. That's what basically Lisanu Hali, his state is saying, Ya Rasulullah, it is enough that I am there gazing at you. That's all I want. I know, And if you see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with that eye of mahabbah, that eye of love, what else do you want? He says that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes out to him one day. He says, "Ala tatazawwaj ya Julaybib? Oh Julaybib, why don't you get married?" He says, "Waman yuzawwijuni ya Rasulullah? Who will marry me? I have no looks, I have no money." I mean, you get married, you're gonna have one thing, something. No looks and no money. He says, Ya Rasulullah, who's going to marry me? He did not tell him that, but he knows. Who would marry me, Ya Rasulullah? He says, I will get you married. And يحب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ويحبه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. And Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم loves him because the Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم loves those who love him. Of course. It's only wafa that you love those who love you. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم نبي الوفاء صلى الله عليه وسلم. So النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم waits for Abu Baraz al-Aslami رضي الله عنه من أنصار, بيت من بيوتات الأنصار. He narrates the hadith. He says that Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم came to the Ansar and told them, I want to get married. That man said, yes God, it's an honor for us to ask. Told him, but not for me. The man thought, what? The Prophet ﷺ is going to marry his daughter. Oh, what an honor. Yes, right away, yes. He said, not only yes, what an honor for me. He says, but not for me. He says, for who, Ya Rasulullah? He says, for Julaybib. He says, let me ask the mother. The minute he told him Julaybib, what did he say? حتى أستأمر أمها. He says, Ya Rasulullah, until I go and ask her mother. He goes, that Sahabi from Ansar goes to the house and he tells his wife, the Prophet ﷺ asked for our daughters in marriage. She says, Naam wa nu'ma'in. For Allah, what an honor. He says, not for him though. He says, then for who? He says, for Julaybib. She said, no Allah. La no way. No money and no looks. You come convince a mother. The daughter is hearing the conversation. Now they don't know what to say to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So she tells them, let me ask you before you go and give the Prophet ﷺ an answer. Who asked for my hand? Who's the one who asked? They said, Rasulullah. Yeah, did Julaybib himself ask? No. Who asked? Rasulullah ﷺ. Are you going to tell the one Rasulullah ﷺ no? She said, if he asked for me, then he will always keep me. Meaning what? Under his special care. He asked, you're under the wing of Rasulullah ﷺ now. So they agreed. After the daughter mentioned that, sometimes the adab. And the adab of the daughter, how she, number one, did not object on her parents like this. She mentioned things with adab. She brought in the Prophet ﷺ's mention, remembrance before them, all these things. Then therefore they went and Nabi sallallahu ta'ala wasallam made dua for them that Allah keep their wedding blessed and their house blessed and problem free. Those married people know what it means to have a dua of a house problem free. And Imam Muslim narrates also on the authority of Abu Bakr al-Islami, he says in one of the battles of the Prophet ﷺ, we all went and there were people who were murdered from the Muslimin after the battle. And Nabi ﷺ said, who's missing from us? They told him, Ya Rasulullah, so and so and so, fulan wa fulan wa fulan, fulan, they mentioned names. He tells them, no, there's more missing. Who's missing? If you love someone, you always ask about them. You feel it, you know it. Even if you're not a prophet. Even if you're not a prophet. Why? Love is a connection. Like those who don't love don't understand that kind of talk. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, no, there's more missing. Look. They looked. Who do they find? Sayyidina Julaybib radiyallahu ta'ala, martyred. His arms are cut off in the battle, had no arms, and he was martyred radiyallahu ta'ala, with 7 people around him. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam brings him up and he becomes his arms, he puts him that he's behind him, that he is the hands of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are the arms now of Julaybib. And he says this, the hadith is authentic. He says, إِنَّهُ مِنِّي وَأَنَا مِنْهُ. He is from me and I am from him. He is from me and he repeats it multiple times. He is from me and I am from him. He is from me and I am from him. On Sayyidina Julaybib radiyallahu ta'ala. You see what love gets you? That love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, look at that man's. You couldn't ask, if you had millions, you wouldn't have gotten it. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam loves you. He is the one who asks to get you married. He's the one who facilitates your marriage. And he makes dua for your marriage. And therefore, and then not only that, Allah Ta'ala ends your life with shahada. Murder them. So you can always be alive with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That you don't go through what other people do. You're always. So the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ensured that Sayyidina Julaybib lives even after death, so he can remain living with Rasulullah. Because the Anbiya are living and the Shuhada are living, and now they're together. Even in the Barzakh they're together. Why? They love the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam loves him. He doesn't want him to be separate from him. So that Allah Ta'ala grant Julaybib shahada, murdered them, so he remains even in the barzakh close to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.